Is this going to be the controller of your dreams? Stick around. Welcome to Retro Reprise. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cadet controller from Hyperkin. Now this controller comes in two different colors. I've got the black one right here. There's also a more traditional gray, black, and red, so if you're into more of the NES style controllers, they've got those as well. This is also the controller that comes with the Retron HD, so if you pick that console up, you're going to get a couple of these controllers in it. So I've got some likes and I've got some dislikes, so let's get right into it. Let's start by talking about the cable length. Now this has a cable length of about 9 to 10 feet, so if you're someone who likes to play some distance away from your television, you can do that. Now I also tried this on my Retron 5, my Super Retro Trio, and my original NES, and it worked fine on all of those, so chances are if you've got either a clone console or honestly the original console, this will probably work on all of those. Now I wanted to get into some of the things that I like about this. First, let's talk about the quality of plastics. This is something, the plastic on this is really nice. It's really solid. This is something that I've been wanting to see come out of both Hyperkin and Retrobit. I've been wanting to see them come out with a little bit more solid plastics. I think that's reflected in the price a little bit. If you pick this up from Amazon, you're going to pay about $13 for it, which is a little bit higher than what some of the other offerings are in the same category. But there are some things that I like about this. So the construction is really solid, and like I said, the plastic itself is nice and hard, which is good. Now let's take a look at some of the things. Now I decided to go with the black one because I thought it was a little bit more interesting. I like their little graphic design that they have on the controller. It's kind of reminiscent of the original NES, but it's just different enough that I thought was kind of cool. Now there are some things that I really find interesting. These corners are cut off, and I don't know if that's ergonomic or just aesthetic, but I kind of like it. I think that's fairly interesting, and I don't notice it as far as an effect as when I'm playing with the controller, but I just like that they're there, and it's a different aesthetic for the controller. Now on the back of it, I assumed when I first got this that this was going to be a flat back. It's not. It's got these rounded bumps, grip bumps is what I call them, and I'm not sure if I like them or not. It doesn't really get in the way of the gameplay of the controller, but they are there, so if you decide to pick one up, just be aware that this isn't flat back, and it does feel a little odd when you first start playing with the controller. So let's get on to the face of the controller. We've got our standard D-pad, we've got our select and start buttons, and our A and B buttons as well. All of these feel pretty similar to the original NES controller. The D-pad, I believe, is around the same size. The select and start buttons feel just like they would on an NES controller. And these buttons, the A and B buttons, are a little bit looser, but not too bad as far as the way that they feel. And I'll throw some close-up pictures so you guys can see what that looks like. But generally this feels like original NES controller. Actually, compared side by side, this is actually a little bit smaller than the original NES controller. And I'll throw a picture of that up as well. So ultimately, when you're looking at a controller like this, it comes down to how does it control? And that's where this thing's got its problems. First of all, one of the big problems that I had was that the A button fires inconsistently. Now I tried this out. I've got like a gauntlet of games that I like to play through. I do like shooters, run and guns, and my big test is always Ninja Gaiden. How does Ninja Gaiden play on this? And this is where the problems come in. So the A button, even though you press it, doesn't always register. And I've had play sessions where I hit this thing like 5 or 6 times in a row, and Ryu doesn't like jump or do anything. And I've just run off of corners thinking like, oh, I'm going to jump here, and it doesn't happen. The other big hang-up on this controller is the down on the D-pad. And I've actually shot a video of this to show you guys. I'm holding down, and I can make Ryu run from side to side just by holding down. This has to be dead center down. If you're not hitting it just dead center, then your character is either gonna, run run on the side of the screen, or if you're playing a shooter, it's just gonna like veer right into the thing that you're trying to avoid. So that's the big problem with this controller. Ultimately, it's a great design, it's got good plastics, but it fails as a controller, and I can't really recommend this to people. So my overall grade for this is going to be a C-. Essentially, this is a great looking controller, but if a controller doesn't control, then to me it fails at what it's supposed to do. And so, sorry Hyperkin, I really wanted to like this thing. It looks really cool, but I can't sit there and say that it's a good controller. Now, if you decide you do want to get one, or you like some shelf candy, or you're just a real life troll and you want to make this somebody's second player controller and watch them fail, then I'll leave a link for my Amazon affiliate link below. You can pick one up and it helps the channel out. So that's going to be it for the Hyperkin Cadet controller. Guys, thanks for watching. There's been some changes to YouTube, so if you guys can share this video, if you like the review, please give it a thumbs up, comment, like. If you guys have one, let me know what you guys think, because I really had high hopes for this thing and it just fails. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next Retro Reprise.